Okay, shul broche. Tonight gaan we dus maken een beetje anders. Wie alle andere man drusches geredet bis jetzt. Most drusches geredet bis jetzt ist gewesen an official speech. Haben wir weggestellt auf eine Stände. Der Redner redt. Du gaan we machen around the table conversation. Haben wir schon getan ein paar Mal and I feel it's way more Geschmack than geben a drusche, Raktaros, man geht a drusche. So, in zum Ruch hat man paar topics do hat nacht. Mit ungehabten topics in the conversation Leben mit den Achrayes, jeder zu leben mit den Achrayes, budgeting. In Yiddish just rief me this, screw your head on top of your head. So it's just on top. In the Weg, wie soll zu leben, kedai zu kennen, mit zum Nichts anetisch. One of the main reasons mention going around anxiety is for the unknown of tomorrow. And anxiety is a terrible Sache, weil anxiety, again, will ich kann reden psychology do, but it's a bit rausbringen a bisschen the kid. A Mensch hat anxiety weil for the unknown. Depression hat man von was sie gewähnt. A Mensch wird depressed, was sie gesehen, was ist ihm geschehen. If he understands how to disconnect from his past, can block the depression. For the future hat man anxiety. One of the most powerful anxiety was a Mensch hat is anxiety for finance. In alles in the Leben dreht sich alles. In the financial stability von a Mensch, sein shul bias, sein Chinuch von den Kindern, sein Mut, sein Shabbos-Tisch, sein Yom-Tov-Tisch, sein Friends, alles dreht sich mit der Harchuvas Adas von der financial situation. Wenn wir sitzen mit einem, ist gerade da ein Arruf. And believe it or not, Zavab arbeitet sehr schwer. She's the breadwinner and he's basically, was macht schon da was macht schon Arruf. And I came over there, they called me, there's a red mit mir. So when I get a long conversation. And they accumulated close to about $800,000 in savings. So accumulated, b'meshech the letzte 18 Jahre that they married. Sie hat kein Monat on vacation, in the country. Everything in the house is like very strictly controlled. Favos, hab es das schmeckt. Man lebt in an anxiety von tomorrow. Sie wissen, sie haben sich schon Wind verlassen. Sie darf im Kasten machen Kinder. Will nicht gar noch Geld, sondern im Kasten machen Kinder. So sie arbeitet wie ein Chamar, wie ein Doggy, an zu wenig Geld. Und they're hoarding the money, sie sitzen auf dem Geld. Man kann sich vorstellen, die Anxiety, wenn sie kommt dort, man darf kaufen Schiech in der Haus, oder man darf kaufen ein Kleid in der Haus, oder anything else darf geschehen. Sind eine gefährliche Anxiety von was, weil man darf Kasten machen, man darf kennen, man darf oben, man darf keine kaufen ein Haus, man darf, in Bemeile, sein ganzes Leben is all very stressed out. So once I sat with them and I explained them in my halach, wieso is jede Kinder wegzuhelfen. Für Kinder zu haben, wieso man geht wegstellen und sagen. Von wem geht jede Kind, wieso man geht sich Kasten machen. You had to hear the sigh of relief of that woman. Und ich gekalt später, eine Woche später, da sucht mir, dass ich keine Ahnung, wo sie geht zu meinem Stief, sucht mir. Pushen sind mir auch gutend. Wird auch gutend. So, the größte key for a Mensch is to have a roadmap. To have a real roadmap in front of him, to know what he is using, what he is making, what he is able to afford, and what he's going to need down the road, and how am I coming to that goalpost with a plan. Nicht sein and anxiety a ganze Zeit. Ich gehe davon, wie gehe ich Geld, und ich gehe davon, and you never end up having it. So the main part of this is the financial structure in the beginning of understanding wo's du hast, wie viel du kannst spenden, und wo du kannst sich erlauben auf jetzt. Then you build your plan of how to get to your future, and you will be automatically on a great path. Sehr viele Menschen sind in a job, in a position, oder in a whatever they are, and sie verstehen nicht, dass sie kennen Team besser. And really dürfen sie Team besser, was heißt, if they would have a budget in front of them, and they would know that it's going to come the day that they need the money, and what they need to do now in order to get that point mit a structure, wollte gegangen die noch etwas. Viele Muschel, so ein Mann, muss kann nehmen another bus route. Ich habe einen Bus driver. Ja, it's $500 a week. Definitely $1 a Woche, kann ich weglegen das. Aber hat da ein Mann, was das gewesen gesetzt mit mir auch. And he's durchgegangen the ganze situation I gave him those that he needs $500 a week in order to put away to manage hassle machen die Kinder und das kann Team bekommen. Ich nehme $500, so das heute später kommt um so habe ich a teacher in the Ingi, she went back teaching. The $500 she gets a week goes into these funds. So it's shot as they had a roadmap in front of them. They knew exactly their plan, what they need to do. Then they sat down, husband and wife, and made a decision what has to be sacrificed for that. So as du mentioned, so you can sacrifice the Ghanish country, the Ghanish vacation, the saving $10,000 a year and spend for vacations. And it's kind of this an anleigen in the structure for the future. But they sind nicht die richtige Mahalach zu tun. Weil ein Mensch darf man normale Life auch, mit vacations. Man darf Kleidung, man darf Shabbos see this, man darf Yom Tov see this. So rather try to find somewhat what you're doing in your business you're doing, or in the industry you're doing, or whatever you're capable of doing, to be able to take that amount of money that you need and set yourself up for that special fund, das heißt, the future for your family, chasana, bar mitzvah, or whatever you call it. So the erste part is, when we geschmiest, is wissen, wegzustellen a structure first of the spending. Ich suche in meiner Speech, suche ich als bei uns ist du, oder bei Wiste, sagt viel, sie mir ruwa sei teuf, und weiß warum kann sie mir ruwa keine Jean kann sei teuf. In financials, of the 16 can say teuf, ist die nicht ruwa kann sie mir ruwa. If you not understand that there's definitely the good part, ist die Kamel Jean, like the Bavista story mit the cigarettes, zwei Menschen sind gegangen spazieren, zwei Friends, und einer rief sich zum zweiten, die Reiches, weiß, wenn die willst nicht gereicht, und die Geld an der Zigaretten, was sie kennt, in dem Building, kaufen der Building. Und fragt ihm zurück, die Reiches nicht als the other building? So what was the answer? No, of course. Why? Because it's not only CMRO, man darf machen a side auch. Yes, you have to budget yourself, but you also have to take care of the investing highly. So I want to first start with the budgeting highly. Has we geben zu Chili. Es geht ein bisschen explainen, was tut, what his mahalchim sind, and wie set of a mensch in budgeting, how he sits with couples, what he tells them, and some fascinating stuff that he saw alone with his own eyes, situations wie manchmal gerade mit Menschen. Take it over, Chili.
Yes, I know most of you on the table know me as Chili Kahal, but for tonight I'm going to be Coach Chili. And the way I got into coaching myself, helping people, is because a few years ago I was in a situation that I wasn't making enough money to be able to cover my bills, and I found myself in debt, and just it wasn't working. And I'm sure a lot of people go through that situation sometimes in life, either when they're younger or they're a little bit older, different people, different situations. And I'm sure people know what that feels like, and that's not a good feeling. A lot of anxiety, like Kiraman said before about it, And when someone's in that situation, they feel like there's no way out. Like this is going to be forever. Have to turn and credit cards and back and forth. And Baruch Hashem shined into me two good things. Number one is I started listening to Shirim from Reb Shimon Spitzer and Shabbat Tochen, explaining what it means to live like a Yid, to make money, what's the reason we're working, not to stand like the world, just to have money. There's a bigger picture to it. And then by bumping into someone called Dave Ramsey, and between the two, with his structure, his mahalach, and just listening to the Shirim, Baruch Hashem, I have to say, Hashem helped me and I was able to get out of it. And therefore, I took upon myself to be able to go take classes and coaching, courses and coaching, to be able to tell people and to show people that went through my situation that there's a way out. Even if someone has debt, even if someone is not making it, even if someone is drowning and it's not working out, there's a way to do it. And Baruch Hashem, about a year ago, I finished taking the course and I started sitting with couples at night, explaining to them. The main concept, and again, this is going to be a little bit overlapping with what the Mendel had said and is going to say, but we'll just for a few minutes. The main concept is, now I know some people don't like to hear the word Dave Ramsey, people have different mahalachim, different shittas. Everything is open and flexible. It's the idea to have some kind of a structure, or some kind of an idea to get out. And also some people say that it's not possible to do the Dave Ramsey mahalach al tafrim. It's possible. There's a will, there's a way. Now the main thing of everything that has to do with finances, personal finance, is to be able to fund your lifestyle. It's a word that my father came up with when I was talking to him once. Everyone has to fund their lifestyle. If someone's lifestyle is X amount of money costs them to live, whatever that includes, then fund it. Make sure to get another job, get a raise, open a business, whatever it is, just fund it. Now funding a lifestyle isn't only about going to the grocery and buying clothing and nash for the kids. Funding a lifestyle is the full picture, like the Mendel said before. It's including everything that a person is going to need for the rest of his life. If it means marrying off the kids, simches, vacations, retirement. When a person decides, okay, I have now $100 over here, okay, so I could afford it, I could take it and go buy whatever I want. No, because the rest of life that you have to take into consideration. I had something to say, it's felt in a minute. Have a minute that you can have what you need later on. You're right. And I saw a tshiva from the Shavat Halevi, that he said that any expense that a person knows that is going to come in life, a person has to take it into consideration and put away for it. A person doesn't have to stop putting away money for any maybe or something that might happen, like the Chavos Luz explains towards the end. Something to say, I'm going to put away for anything that might just happen in the world. There's no end to that in sight. Or whatever person knows that he is going to need to one day, if it's chasnas, if it's bar mitzvahs, whatever it is. So that's the concept of funding your lifestyle. Now, when it comes to budgeting, that's the concept. The concept of, there's different ways you have to budget. One of the ways you have to budget is called a zero-based budget. That means the person takes their income, whatever that amount is, puts in all their expenses, and the bottom should be zero. Now, it doesn't mean the bottom should be zero, that nothing should be left for them to put away, but all their plans that they need for chasnas, bar mitzvahs, or whatever it is, should be included in that. So income minus expenses of the grocery, weekly, monthly, yearly, and for whatever they need to save. And then the bottom should be zero. That's the concept of budgeting. Now, just a small story. I was sitting with a couple, and they weren't using credit cards at the time, only debit cards. They already maxed out the credit cards. I always ask people, how much money do people spend on credit cards? Anybody know how much money do people spend on credit cards? How much? So I like to say is people spend on credit cards whatever the credit card limit is. One guy has 10,000 limit, they're going to spend up to 10,000. I'm talking about someone that got into a bump. I'm not talking about someone that could afford everything. So I asked them how much do they. So she told me that when they go to the grocery, is always anxiety. She goes to the grocery, and she doesn't know if there's enough money in the card or not. So she has to call her husband. Is there enough money in the card or not? He's answering, he's not answering. She's going to the register, she's shaking. Is it going to go through or not? The whole going to the grocery is an anxiety situation. So I said, okay, this is what we're going to start doing. We're going to start budgeting with cash. Take away the cards. Let's not do cards. Cash. How much do you need for a week for the grocery? X amount of money. Okay, take that money, divide it into envelopes, everything else you need, and take it. She told me that it could very much be that from the day we started sitting, she had less money to spend in the grocery. Maybe that number was less than she really spent. But walking into the grocery, she knew this is what I have to spend. I have the cash in my envelope, and she was able to shop with calmness and be able to go to the register and pay. And there's no phone calls and there's no anxiety and nothing. So again, that's a little bit of a case with this a situation. There wasn't anything extra, but it's just a concept of being able to go to the grocery and be able to budget and know what a person has. So that's basically the concept of budgeting. There's different ways of doing the actual budget. There's either, the way I tell my clients is for the first 2-3 months to just track, because the person doesn't know how much I spend, and start taking out Excel sheets and statements from years and years. So what I usually tell my clients is for the first 2-3 months, just track. Write everything down, everything that's spent, just write it down and track it. After 2-3 months, you have an idea of what you're spending. Then put that into a budget in the beginning of the month. Budget how much you want to spend that month. Divide it, if it's by envelopes with cash, or if it's different bank accounts for different things, or it's using a budgeting app with whatever is out there. It doesn't make a difference how. And then basically track it and go along with it. But the concept is to have a zero-based budget and to make sure to fund your lifestyle. That's basic of budgeting.
So to take Chili's example that we said before, when someone knows that he needs to reach to a certain amount of money, and he looks around himself and he sees he cannot make it what he does, Chili decided to go into coaching as a side job. Is true to help people in need, but also as a sidekick to make extra few dollars to be able to cover his budget. And this is a great idea, and it's nothing wrong. It's actually a fantastic thing, because as we can team for eigene Panuse and nicht davon ziehen ziehen. So let me just finalize in the part from budgeting. Most Menschen, man hat to rent from budgeting, werden sehr confused. They start going into kind of panic. What do I need? Do I need coaches? I don't need coaches. Apps, mit dus, mit jens. So do alle meine Menschen, so all type of people. We are humans that make mistakes. We are humans that have needs. We are humans that have Tavis in some verschiedene Sachen. So do a simple way is when man budgeting is just plain take a piece of paper, write down your income, die dan wie viel sie kommt daran nach heute. Know the exact number. Schreib barop dan rent, dan mortgage, dan scham limit, dan basic groceries. Just bring. I promise you, sie geht nicht stimmen. There's no way sie geht stimmen bei most Menschen. Es hat keinem nicht gestimmt. Sie hat einfach so geworfen mit Mann mit, es ist keinem nicht gestimmt. College wird almost survived. But when die siehst, dass es stimmt nicht, die siehst wie dann, where is your main place and where can you work on? So I had a situation with a man that said, I just can't. I said, what is, he showed, groceries is $1,000 a month. He gave me his whole budget. Groceries is $1,000 a month. So ich habe gesagt, bring mir dein grocery bill für 4 Wochen. And again, ich kann nicht try dich zu cutten von deinen groceries. There's essentials and there's non-essentials. There's the bread, there's the milk, there's the fish, the flesh, whatever you must have mit der Fiete der Stieb. But I promise you that I was able, out of his 4 weeks grocery every week, I was able to take off $50. Nicht ganz sach. $50 in certain spendings of items that he did not really need or must have. Small stuff. Like he bought corn chips and potato chips and pretzels. For instance, we say we're going to take off one of the two, either the corn chips or potato chips. We bought 2 types of ice creams, 5 types of dips, whatever it was able, instead of being slowly. So we were able to find $50 in his bill a week. That's $200 a month. $200 a chodesh for 20 Jahre is $200,000. This is all he needs in order for him to chasana machen. Es ist gewesen auch die Situation bis jetzt, als für wenn man gerät zu Menschen, als du darfst da wegleiten Geld auf chasana machen, und man darf Geld investen oder everybody became like scared. Es ist beklar nicht eine Sache von mir, das redet nicht zu mir. Ich kann kaum coveren mein Chodesh. Budgeting is, I don't even know where to start. Mein Chodesh kann ich nicht covern. Ich kann nicht so eine Sache. Es ist ein Jahr Zeit, dass ich das, about 16 months that I started doing this. So ich schreibe ein Tug, sah damals, dass wenn ich bin daran bis Medrisch. Ich schreibe ein Tug, und I counted, I see. Oder das Simcha, oder das Chassan. Und man war Beispiel hat, also ich war kein zu Chassan, ist nicht für 2 Schuhe. Wo sich jemand an, es kommt in Gemann, noch in Gemann, so wissen, dass man gerade mit meinem Leben. All of a sudden, ich habe kein Wunder, ich habe kein Geld, ich habe $15,000 in meinem Account. Ich bekomme WhatsApp, I can show you pictures or WhatsApp messages of Ingelad that have accounts saved up. Having Gemann sent me yesterday, I just want to send you nachas because we're on a group together. I don't know if you watched what happened then. People started becoming very complicated with these investments and stuff. And I said, just keep it simple, go straight and be clear, take all the no's out. And the man sends me a WhatsApp with a picture of $160,000 he saved this year. And he told me, glaub mir, ich habe mein Leben nicht gewiss, dass ich habe den Numbers. Kein Mensch nicht gewiss. There is a salesman, arbeit, vacations, business classes, sititzig, and all of a sudden, wir gewissen, 6 kinderlich kleine Haare, jeder meinem aufgeset die accounts. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. All because a little awareness. In Galad wie Chili, in Galad wie ich, wir gehen wir retzen in Galad, wir halten Rusches. Wissen, dass du wissen eine Sache. Man meint, man darf $1 Million zu werden ein Millionär. Es ist nicht MS. First of all, der Eibscher beschaffen der Welt, hat der Eibscher beschaffen mit 80% von den Menschen in der Middle Class. Es ist du maybe 5% von der Eulen, was es Aschieren, 15% was an Babatisch, and then there's the 20 down to the other side. I would say 30 down to the other side. This is the Eibscher people. But Rav Riber mentioned, der Eibscher beschaffen der Welt, es ist ein Middle Class Community. Man arbeitet schwer, jeden Tag, man geht danach ein paar Nüsse, man struggelt, man geht darüber. Der Eibscher gewollt so in der Welt. Der Eibscher gewollt kann haben, der Chsife, der Eibscher gewollt geben, als es soll sein, mehr Geld, wie man darf, falls also ist alles vor und bringt in das, als die kleine Welt soll können markieren, man kann kein warten. Es darf uns alle heranbacken in den Kopf, die erste Kinder, let's leave werden ein Millionär out of the equation at the moment. Let's first put in our equation a structure of how I should have a decent life and a decent living. Ich kann es nur machen, meine Kinder Decentheit. Von wo? Weil Thomas bist die ganze Zeit in der Kopf, die wirst werden ein Millionär. Du gehst kein Mal schon kommen dort und du gehst daran in Stress, noch einmal, in Anxiety. Und damals fast daran Depression, also in so einem Friegerät, als sie gelungen ist, nicht verfahren. Und du wirst schon nicht weiter gehen, und du weißt nicht, wer es zu mischen, du weißt nicht, was du warten. So first the structure, give me from the papers, please, I set. First the structures. Man darf verstehen, ich sage es, and I don't miss it on a single speech, zu wasen, was meint $5 a Tag. Was ist das $10 a Tag? Was ist $50? You know, weißt du, I'm sure, wenn ich zu suchen von der grocery receipt, von der $1,000 von verschaffen, den jemand $50, I'm sure, maybe not, but I'm sure there was someone in this crowd thinking to himself, $50, that's it, okay, well, what's it $50, what can you do with $50? No. Ich weiß nicht du, aber wenn ich letzte Menschen sehe, für eine grocery bill von $1,000, ich save $50, ich habe mich schicken machen, $50, lass mich schon kaufen, der Potato Chip auch, lass mich auch der Eis. Der $50 geht das machen, this is exactly, ich will schon kaufen es anyways. Wie viel von euch schon gehört, war der $50 geht das machen, ich will schon kaufen es anyway. I'm screwed anyway. I mean, like you hear it every single day almost. And Rabbi say, this is the $5 was macht das. The $1 was macht das. Just being conscious. So the letzte Foto, ich weiß, ich habe es gesehen, im geflogen viral, a clip, was ich gerät von anderen Besmedisch, von Nineveh Besmedisch, about the $14 milkshake. I don't know how many people over here saw that clip. And ich habe immer gesagt, es comment. Einer schreibt mir a comment, but the Tat is also going with the kid once a week for what's a Shabbos, he gave him his time, don't you think about that is important? And then that's why the schreibt mir, many different comments. And I always say, it's not the milkshake, it's not the $14, it's irrelevant, the number, and it's really irrelevant, the attention the kid, it's irrelevant. It's the point, the idea. That's what it is. It puts you into a conscious state. Of course, man darf rausgehen mit der Kind and enjoy no Motzei Shabbos. And it's okay to go buy a milkshake. It was just to show you what the steady habits of doing things that really unnecessary or maybe necessary, what this could give you in 20 years, in 10 years. And this is really can build, and this can take off the pressure and anxiety from your life. And it's like, you see on the sheet over here, $5 a day for 20 years. $5 a day for 20 years will give you $82,000. And if you put in a kicker of $3,000 in the Kindesgebäude, you will have $100,000 to marry off your child. Is this unique when you guys chassan machen? I don't know. But guess what? Zero is sicher nicht. Mehr von 20, mehr von 50 is sicher. So this is just $5 a day. That's what it is. Just $50. Being mindful with your spendings around you. And again, it's a hype to kun. Jeder eine hype to fragen Kashes. Der Investment, jener Investment. Wir gehen zu shul und der verkauft dich, sucht dich, sucht dich, der ETFs, jene ETFs. Again, it's irrelevant the ETF or the mahalach you're going to do. Chabaran came to and gefragt do about a certain mahalach, right? He asked me about a certain mahalach. I didn't hear about a mahalach, but I didn't get to answer him. I'm sure my son gave me the answer, but it's irrelevant the mahalach the next. Welche mahalach that feels comfortable? Welche ETF or fund or brokerage that feels comfortable to team? As long as you do something and you're consistent about it, you set it up automatically, you will be okay. So das machen 300% of dein Geld, aber gleich an der Fond auf gewissen 12%. Du weißt dann auf gemeint zwischen 12% und 11% ein Jahr, oder 10% oder 7% oder 8%. Wird man kein Economist. All of a sudden wird man Economist. Immer hype tun das, und dann macht man Stissen. Und dann der andere 50% ist gut nicht, weil ist zermischt jetzt. So ich weiß doch nicht, was zu tun. Jetzt weiß ich schon, was zu tun. Because ich bin gewähnt in der Gruppe, hat mir gesagt, das soll, der WhatsApp-Gruppe, der Schüler gut, das soll, der Freunde mit mir das soll. By now I'm confused. Move all the noise away. Take away all the chatter. Take away nothing. Whichever mahalach you'll take, whichever mahalach, if it's S&P 500, if it's the QQQs, which is the NASDAQs, if you want to go strong technology, if you feel that's for you, do it. If you want to go into bonds, as mentioned, will nicht Menschen versuchen, mir ist genick 7%. Ich kann riesiger Schieren, wo es sei, ist genick 4%, 5%, da sagen wir, ich darf nicht mehr wie 5%. Ich treffe nicht einmal auf ein Fond, das macht mehr wie 5%. And then they're happy, they're good, and they're making tons of money. Because von was machen sie Geld? Nicht von der Fond, wo sie machen 5% machen sie das Geld. Aber der ganze mahalige Geheim ist der Weg. In English they say, pigs get slaughtered. Man geht bei uns mit der Machshuva ganzen Zeit. Man muss the best. Man darf the best Yeshiva, beste School, the best Cheder, the best Rebbe, the best teacher, the best Van, the best Bronfen, the best Kiddush, the best. What happens to all the people that need the best? End up having basically a mumble jumble of nothing. A person that's a very solid person, a 5 or 6% return for him, he's happy, then all of his other decisions that he makes in business is a total different decision as well. He's not trying to maximize in der Gegend, which means in der heimische Gegend, Lakewood, Borough Park, Muncie, hat man in den letzten 4 Jahren umgewischt über $1 billion in investments. Was der heimische Oilem hat angelegt in investments, ist ich keine Ahnung, was mit dem. Über $1 billion. You hear the number over $1 billion. I know from a group of $100 million alone. I know one group, $100 million. And believe me, it's way more than that. Es ist gewesen, es ist du jetzt noch so it's gedreht auf Wochen zurück, some kind of AI technology that went bust. Google was supposed to put in $3 trillion, whatever, numbers, 10x, 15x, 1000x. Von wo es geschieht ist? Why does it happen? Wir sitzen auf a real estate deal meeting in, this was the ältere Idel. It was in 2018, 2019. Es ist ein ältere Idel da. Es was a gruesome gemacht als in the loft as a dinner out, some gebrengt. The lawyers in the company, it was a reputable company. And es ist ein ältere Idel, geschmiert noch the speeches, noch alles, wir sitzen da, und geschmiert, ein ältere Idel, was ist heavy invested in a company. So ich frage mal so, wie viel geht der company a year? So the preferred return is 6%. And ob man verkauft, noch ein Überbauen, und whatever, was es in Real Estate hat, ist 2x, 1.5x. Also 1,5 Mal das Geld, das man da sehen, auf das Rangelegt, man sagt, 3 Millionen, noch verkauft es ein 1,5 Millionen, machen 50% von sein Geld, noch 3-4 Jahre. Okay? In der Wahl hat a 6% preferred return on his money. Und ich frage immer so, that's it? Was ist? This is the group get 11% preferred return, and it's promised not 3x. Der einmal dann Geld. Der group get 10%, and it's promised not 5x. Dann haben wir so ausgerechnet 3 Groups, was ich kenne, was ich weiß, die Groups, was es geben, und so gegeben. Der Herr Michael Singermann, das ist eingereschieden, der Herr Michael Singermann. Der, was geht das Sach, was so geht der Gunisch, der alles ziehen. Hier mich kluren geht. Versteht sich, ich bin gewinn fresh. Das ist nicht Sinn. Ich habe mit der Gruppe, habe eigentlich nur $250,000. Start small, weißt du, was ich hier? Wenn sie do der Syndicator im Smedisch, also ich bin bei mir schon Million. Was ist das? Ich nehme mich hinterhinter, nehme ich nicht. Start small, 250. Und dann 250. Ich habe gesehen, 10-11%. Ich habe es gemacht, 250, 25, ich mir eine Uhr. Ich habe mich eingewählt. Se fuhrt zu du noch ein Deal, kommt mich noch ein Deal, ist der allein. It's proven! Eigentlich 350. It is proven! Noch 5 Maies. Bis sie gekommen, der Tag was Covid hat gehit. Sie noch Covid gegangen, Interest rates are aufgeflogen, ist schon mein. Because of COVID, insurance went up 3 times the amount. All the buildings were on bridge loans in 14, 15, 16%. None of them were in real mortgages. So, man geht sich immer bauen, man geht sich immer fixen, man geht sich flippen, man geht machen 2x and 3x. Guess what? All the buildings went lulu, and together with the buildings, in my group alone, $100 million got flushed out. Und dort sitzen Real Estate-Gevre, dort sitzen Aschirem, dort sitzen Millionären, und Menschen, die sind schon in der Industrie. Why? Because we are greedy. Der Mann, was hat gemacht, the syndication, the person that made this whole deal together, war Rotzer für 35 Jahre alt, I'm sorry, my expression, sogar Rotzer, sloppy like crazy. Geschickt falsche Reports. Whatever. Mit Trost. Gegeben, die ist gegeben. Und das ist geschehen, mit der Jeder, als die gekommen ist, die Nacht der Schule mehr wie einmal. And I knew what I mean to say. Gekommen ist, die ist mit mich. And this is one of the main reasons that I put myself onto this hot plate, and I took upon myself to go out and warn the Heimische Oilem. Do not do private investments whatsoever. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your father. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your... The guy mag gar nicht tun. Leid nicht kein Geld bei privaten Menschen. Die willst kaufen a building, die willst kaufen a business, die willst kaufen a real estate. You will be the controlling partner. You will be in the business. You will invest money. Okay. You make your calculations, you show it to your accountant, you make sure it's done correctly. But zu geben von Syndicators, zu geben von Jankel Zurich, es kommt an bis Medrisch, stellt zusammen, und jetzt reizt kann ich mal frisches gern, mit Gruppe Gold in Ecuador. Vor allem die Gitte Zahn, das der Babetsche, Zahn, Goldgrief ist gut nicht geworden, der findet schon 40 Jahre zurück, whatever his name is. Ja, Gutnick. Weißt du, kennst einen Millionär von Gutnicks Goldgruben. Mit der Babetsche Rebensbruch, ich sag nicht, ich mach nicht schon weg. Maar daarbij zei, die wist niet geld, ook gehouden met de geld. Die geist, die versteist in gold, sucht dir, was der als Stack-Symbol, von der Company, was hat in Ecuador haben sie Goldgräber, und sie machen schon Trillions of Dollars, und sie haben jetzt ausgeht, the government geht nicht für jeden einen License, ist somehow vom Inti gescheuert, einer in the government, sie kann bekommen eine License, sie kennen Gruppen in Ecuador Gold. Sie haben gekauft, sie sind schon jetzt gewählt $100 million fliegen, den gemacht. Und du bist jetzt weil $100 million, was geistige Private Equity Groups. Was das die Keuleling gelacht, für geht you. Guys, a Private Equity Company. Die was wert $100 million, jetzt gevalued, kannst du schon jetzt bekommen $50 million. Bombenmaße. Und dann so geht ein Maße noch der zweite. Wenn eine kommt, sie die noch Geld für ein Investment. Die erste kannst du fragen, was hat Chase schon angelegt, das kann Geld. First question asking, why doesn't Chase put in the money there? JP Morgan or any of these big companies, why don't they invest in it? If it's so good, dann was der Answer nicht geht. Es sarchert von Kopfes Fies, geht nach ihm zu Keuling gelassen, und er schleppt zusammen das Geld, und er nimmt ihn raus, die versteht am Markt ersetzen, Rätig versteht die zu Business, zu Investment, zu Gutes. Man sucht er schickt eine E-Mail, also eine grobe E-Mail, 1000 Pages, line. Dann muss gleich der Country, wenn du kaufst das Haus. Line, 1000 Pages, line, Dachlein. So the boy say, like nur dein Geld wie Chase like this. Okay? I like this around in an index fund, which is the S&P 500 or QQQs, or whichever one you want to choose, whatever you feel comfortable. You look allemaal, guys, straight S&P, so gearbeitet. Du wirst like the total stock market and VTIs, Gesinterheit. You want 4,000 companies. S&P 500 ist schmecklich hinterzugehen. Wenn man S&P 500 geht hinter, dann macht sie die Lights. Alle Lights. Eine Car hat aufzufuhren. Weil die alle Companies, das machen die Lights und machen die Cars, sind dort. In der S&P 500. So if their companies go bust, everything goes bust. There's no water in your sink, there's no lights in your house, and there's no cars driving, nothing. So it's impossible. It's the American economy, and something nicht nur mit der American economy. Einer hat auch gleich da Post, der LinkedIn letztes. Ich mache eine ganze Calculation, beautiful rausgebringt von ChatGPT, gemacht eine gorgeous calculation. It's impossible that the whole GDP of the American economy is so viel. How is possible that the S&P should grow so much? It's way more than the whole GDP. Guy explained him, 90% of the American invested economy is not even in the GDP, has nothing with the GDP. As Apple verkauft iPhones in the ganze Welt, hat es gut nicht mit the American GDP. It has nothing to do with the economy here. Coca-Cola soda that he sells doesn't even have to do with the American economy. So it's irrelevant. But the fact is, it's been around for all these years. It's strong and it's the best investment. And way better for real estate. Everybody's asking me, it's better real estate? Way better than real estate. Und ich weiß nicht, kleine calculations that you can only come and do. Look at page 4. The number one Sache ist, ich habe gerade einen Mann auf dem Telefon. He's in the real estate business. He has a bonus. He made $100,000 here. He wants to know if it's safe to put in the S&P 500. I'm afraid was kostet noch real estate. I mean, if you're in the business, why don't you just keep on investing in building your portfolio? So Zantaritz ist, also mit $100,000 kann ich wohl nicht kaufen. Jetzt darf sitzen 3 Jahre zu 4 Jahre, bis sie accumulaten noch Geld zu können kaufen. Real estate ist sehr fein, wenn alles fuhrt, wie es darf zu sein. 80% von unseren Menschen, was ohne Real Estate, ist auch nicht Economists, was haben die Numbers heraus richtig. Man overleveraged auf Real Estate. Man kauft ein Building, man refinances. The trick is to refinance it so you with no money in there. Sie kommt als eine Katschamachka von was jetzt geschehen. In kommen Trump, hat rausgeworfen alle immigrants. There's no new immigrants coming in. So all these areas that have these huge apartment buildings and those, all of a sudden, the apartments are empty. There's no demand anymore. All these areas wie alle immigrants wohnen, kleine schon im Center Manhattan. Center Manhattan ist auch gefallen dabei. Immer anfällt auf der Welt. So, sie kennt Traske, rennt keine Traske. Menschen, wie wisst ihr, geht allemal darauf. Gemeint, sie geht nicht allemal darauf. Sie kommen different situations. Wenn der Trump-Law geht unhalten, wer weiß, was geht an mit der Real Estate Market. It might tank. I mean, in New York City, it is getankt, just schon. You buy a door for, especially with a new mayor and stuff, forget it, you know. So, nicht allemal the best investment in real estate. Wenn die extra Geld in S&P 500, there's no minimum and there's no maximum. And there's no minimum amount of time to down and there's no maximum amount of time. It works for everybody for whatever they need. But if you're a disciplined person and you put it in the way you're supposed to and you don't touch the money, you'll be a millionaire, yes. But if you do the right things, you will be a millionaire. Ich weiß, dass eine Combination, ich habe schon gesagt, der letzte Stückzahl, it's a fascinating, also for that group is schon ein bisschen zu spät, the combination, but it's something to learn. If you take the first box over here on the top, you see, they should teach what they can, but they still have to do because they still have to do retirement. And they're not busy with the retirement. Wenn ein Mann hat Kasten bei der 20, in einem $20,000 für seine Rusche geschenkt, look at the first box over here. In einem $20,000, these are real numbers in S&P was hat getan. When I wrote of a program in that has all the data from the S&P. Ein Mann hat $20,000, wenn er hat Kasten der Rusche geschenkt, sein Werbsgeld, was er verdient, whatever it is. You take $1,800 a month for 13 years. The first 13 years of marriage, the expenses is very little. There's no camp, there's no bar mitzvahs, there's no braces, there's no... By age 40, alle calculate this out insurance, by the way, Rabbi Yeshaya, because the expenses are not so groß zwischen the camps, with the braces, with the chassans, with the bar mitzvahs, with the vacations. It's just like, it's... The Menschen in their age kommen zu sagen, wie bist du gewähnt 20 Jahre zurück? So, yeah, true, this is already nicht the age, was es do. But I think just was the concept, das heißt, invest mit the strategy and was kann umkommen zu einem Mensch. If $1,800 a month for only 13 years, that's it, only 13 years, you would have by the end, look on the bottom, the green line, $693,000. That means you put in 300, the red line is you put in 300,000, you have by the end 693,000. Just as $18 a chodesh, das sagt Geld. So $400 a Woche, das sagt Geld. But wenn die so wissen, dass sie geht dich setten for life, ist es sehr wenig Geld. You leave that money for additional 7 years. Put in, you see on the top of the next box, is $693,000. from 2018 till 2025. So the eerste box you gave from 2005 to 2018, 13 years. Then you have 2018 to 2025, $693,000 was the one from the first 13 years. It came out to be $1.7 million. Okay? Het invested $1,800 a chodesh for 13 jaar, $400 a woch for 13 jaar. By the time he is 40 years old, he starts marrying off his first child, he has a net value of $1.7 million. Now look at the chart after that. At age 40, he has in the balance 1.7. He starts withdrawing every year. The first year, 125. The following year, 130. Following year, 135. He increases it with $5,000 every single year. Hij macht chassid, ruhigerheit. Okay? At age 50, nimmt er schnell aus 175. In sein value is schon 2 million. Jetzt ist es geht vor. Der $1,800 chodesh bei age 50 is 2 million. And nimmt er aus 175 a year, which is $15,000 a month now. Crazy numbers. Guy to age 60, his value is already 260, and he's already taken out $225,000 a year. It's $20,000 a month almost. And as I fuhrt water by age 70, guy age 80. Lass mal so, ich habe so Schule, mit der geht da weg von der Welt at age 85. At that point hat er schon rausgegangen mit $350,000 a year. Ist er noch alles geblieben, a Jerische von $2 million. Über $2 million. Well, it is $1,800 a month for 13 years. This is how powerful this is. So das ist it's was man meint, es ist groß Geld, es ist nicht groß Geld, es ist pizzi Geld. What's $400 a week? Of course, I sag Geld, wenn einer kann nicht covern sein Budget. But wenn ich soll dir sagen, als $400 a Woche für deine erste 30 Jahre in dein Leben, kein nimmt einen Busdriver-Job, kein nimmt waschen Dishes in einer Hall, ich weiß nicht was. Aber die ist umgekommen, nach dies 45 Jahre sein, das sitter dein ganzes Leben. Wouldn't you do it? I'm asking you. Wouldn't you consider in your age 20 zu überdrehen der Welt, wegzulegen $400 a Woche, also das sein, das sitter, das ist bescheuert. Das ist bescheuert, what I'm saying. If you have a roadmap in front of you, you know what your needs is going to be. You have a structure how you're going to get there. Ist die Hubma sagen, ich such dir zieh den 40-jährige, wenn ist du, the best shul Bais in the world. The best shul Bais in the world. First of all, from age 33 till age 40, when it's mitzvah gemacht, ken gemacht, die alle sagen, ich will weglein gut, ich kann $1. You don't have to save nothing. You can live life. Das ist schon ganz attracht auf weglein Geld, weil ich kann das machen. Du darfst schon nicht mehr in Gemahn. Spend braces, spend whatever you need. Go vacation. From age 33 to 40, be the most expensive smart in Leben. Ich meine, most is 45, but you know, then you have a fantastic life, you have a fantastic retirement. You built a retirement when you get back to age 65 when you retire. You have over here, you're taking out at age 65, $250,000 a year when you retire. Weil sie es meint, wie viele Menschen kennst du, kennen nach der Osten mit $250,000 a year, yet still have an asset of $2.7 million. This is how powerful this is. Und das für den, es brennt mir das herauszubringen, so stark. Now, Sachmenschen, du trachten, ich bin nicht 20. But guess what? Also ich habe gesagt, früher, ich habe mit der Schmiss, mit der Milkshake $40. It's irrelevant the number, and it's irrelevant the calculation. Sit down yourself, make calculations yourself, make yourself goals, come to numbers, and work on it to get there. That's it. It's very simple. Called me Nema, but that's for retirement, okay? So look, when a Michael is 19 years old, sie geht raus arbeiten, sie kommt daheim mit Geld. She should take just 1 year of was we can online in the IRA, $7,200. The bottom box over here. She does not add anything until she is 70 years old. Not 70 years old. If a girl takes 1 year's IRA contribution, which is $7,200, when she's a girl, they're out of it. She puts that away for retirement. Look, if you put it in 1975, $7,000, $7,200. Now is the value $2 million. Is it a number? I'm dus. I'm dan aangelegd. Dan aangelegd in 1975, September 1975 to October 2025, which is 50 years. So that means the person is, so wenn ein Mann ist 20 Jahre alt, er nimmt ein amount of money und er dedicated wegzulegen, a Meidle arbeitet, hat nicht keine expenses, take $10,000 and just lock it away for your retirement, and she's $2 million by retirement. $10,000. $2 million for retirement. Ich weiß nicht, wie viel Geld haben schon aufgesetzt, IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks, whatever it is, if you know what it is or if you don't know what it is. But it's extremely, extremely important. So we give jetzt a generation, who's the next generation, the generation for uns, leider ist nicht keine Menschen geblieben von der Krieg in whatever, the retired age. This is the baby boomers are getting into retirement now. And they're hitting the wall. Tons of people that I know don't have money to cover their monthly income, their monthly expenses. Nicht jeder hat ausgezahlte Hase, nicht jeder hat, ja, es ist da mal heilig mit der Hose, man verkauft es mit der Chai, was sehr sagt Menschen in der Age in Hand, und sie können nicht covern. Build yourself a retirement fund. Whatever you can. The maximum is $7,200 a year, you and your wife. Make sure it gets funded. Hook or crook. Is kommen dort auf jene Juden, die ist da von der Geld. Believe me, die guys da von der Geld. So important. Set up your retirement fund. First, set up your chassadah funds. This is sicher, dass du gehst umkommen, und man darf oben das Geld. Ich habe auf meiner Website mandypfefferkorn.com aber der Calculator. Du es nicht live, so ich kann nicht sagen, was es ist. Und jetzt kannst du alleine auch auf den Calculator auf den Phone, das ist nicht so, geht es besser, aber jetzt ist es von der Computer. Ich fragt mich, ich habe 5 Kinder, 7 Kinder, wie viel darf ich wegleiten? Ich darf $100,000 nach Hassen zu machen, ein Kind, how much do I need? Er ist schon all confused, weil er hat schon ein 9-jährig, hat schon 5 Jahre, 7-jährig, so, ich habe nicht 20 Jahre, wie viel soll ich jetzt wegleiten? So I made a fantastic calculator over there. You see, you put in, and the first thing is a goal $100,000. Start age is 9, end age is 20, interest rate 10%. But der Kind, weil schon an, hat nur 11 Jahre zu gehen, you have to put in a week $96. The youngest one, which is only a year old, the same calculation, he has 19 years to go. For him, you only have to put in $33 a week. The total contribution has to be $335 for the whole mishpucha. In order to haben für jede meine $100,000 Kassen haben. Jeder soll alleine aufgehen auf den Computer, go yourself on the computer, put in your kids' names, put in the age, put in your goal. If your goal is 100,000, put in, if it's 50,000 or it's 200 or whatever your goal is, put in a goal over there. It's so important this. The likes to run a goal for my kid, wie viel Geld du darfst für sein Chassene, sein Bar Mitzvah, whatever the ages is, you have a clear picture in front of your eye what you must put away every week or every month. Once you have that picture, you know what you need, you'll be able to set yourself up a balance sheet, you'll be able to set yourself up a budgeting plan. Okay, ich muss fund this, but you must fund this every week or every month, just like you spend some limit, just like you fund your mortgage, just like you fund all your other necessities in your life. Before you go on vacation, this has to be funded. If this is funded, you can go on vacation. If this is not funded, you should not go on a vacation. Unless, die bestock hebben gar noch Geld für das. Weil andere Wege heißt, die nicht schulden kein Geld. Im Leben nicht mit der Minne, mit doch und da habe ich die Geist noch zu schicken, nach Reihe weil die Geist nicht tun. Okay? Ich kann nicht ziehen, sogar die Geist nicht tun, weil die Geist hat nicht schon gereiht in der Fall. Und der Beine Titus hat es begonnen, so der Beginning ist es begonnen, nicht kastieren mit der Minne, bitte. Prepare yourself. And be mindful of your money. Watch how you spend your money. And everything you do, think if you need it or not. What's a necessity and what's a luxury? Viel habe ich geredet von a grocery bill, mit der Rugen mit $50 für eine pure Kleinigkeit, und vielleicht zu kennen umkommen zu their numbers. Again, $335 is a lot of money a week for a person this age. But you're going to need that money. So the wissen, you guys davon die $100,000, wenn es zusammenkommen, wenn guys die zusammenkratzen. Und der halbst sich jetzt so. So to do the income tax, credit is oil and bekommt, be mindful. I think man overkommen in my office, was mindful. Those get man schmissen. And he came up, I should help him set up his account and whatever. Dan zoekt man, voert zweimal ook in het Cicero. En vliegt allemaal voor business class. Het is een regular verdiener, no big shakes. That's dus business class. Was is, had ze jareke, ze zitten bij zijn rieken. I feel claustrophobic. Airplane, 12 hours. He feels he can't survive. So ich habe schmiss, was Geld ist. Und dann gesagt, ich hatte nicht alle Fonds, ich habe schon gleich das Kasten machen. Ich hatte Gott jetzt ist so, und man geht kaufen ein Business Class Ticket. Und ich habe gehört, darf man wegbleiben, das Kasten machen. He went shopping for a ticket. The business class ticket was about $7,000, $6,800. The regular ticket was about $1,700. So given the COVID season, whatever, you know, and I'll get it out. So billiger height that the kind of became a ticket, a business for $7,800. He decided he's gonna try it. And he gave him $5,000 cash that is around like two in his pocket. And it's for the $18 gekauft a regular coach. So he took the same $7,500 that he put away for his ticket, but the $5,000 he put in his pocket. It's herangesetzt in the regular seat and I have to food and I have to direct. And I kicked. Claustrophobic, the Päckle do. As when you come in this rule, the Päckle do. Das Band ist nicht. Auf dem Weg heim, Cedric, Päckle do, 12 Schuhe claustrophobic. Kommt auf ein Plane, habe ein Päckle für Finden, weil auf dem Rabbi sei. It's just being mindful. You can't, Kai will sitzen und sich quetschen, weil gewinnt claustrophobic. Man can sitzen claustrophobic if you know what it is. Just understand what your value is, what you're spending your money. And this is mit jeder Sache so. So mit jeder Sache. Und sagt, der zahlt das mit Points und der zahlt das mit der Gesundheit. You know, ich fuhr auch Business, wenn es das wirklich Geschmack in habe Points. Pflege fuhr dann kaputt. Now I'm a little bit more mindful. But ich drive auch an normale Car and all these things. It's always in the beginning. I'm not trying to tell you after the Gemara was Chagirif and Rinas says, I'm asking you going to speak tonight. Put in a little bit more. You should know not to spend and be careful and da. Ich bin nicht durch Messer zu suchen, nicht zu spenden kein Geld. Das ist nicht mein Mahala. Das ist nicht mein Weg. Just be mindful what you spend, how you spend your money. Be mindful what money can bring you for your tomorrow's value. That's the main thing. Go on vacation if you need it. You need to lease a car, lease a car. You know, weißt du, der andere was schreien, don't lease a car, only buy a car. Okay, von einem Arbeit zu sein, nicht jeder eine kennt. The Mensch will drive a neue car. Will feel good. He wants to feel good. Es ist ihm wert. No problem. Ist aufgesetzt der Accounts. Der Kinderskassen ist du. Dein Budget klappt. Du willst leasen eine car. Lease a car. Du willst drive a Lexus. Drive a Lexus. Ob das ist aufgesetzt. Wie lange das ist nicht aufgesetzt? Budget yourself differently. But ob das ist aufgesetzt? So ein Mann hat gesagt, was an sehen, willst du nach einer Gesinterheit. Das ist du, der XL Model is 500 and XLE Limited is 700. So dann nimmt der XL und nimmt die $200, Difference zu heute ist, willst du schon $200 heute? Der $200 ist $200,000. Der $200 von der XLE zu der XLE Limited ist $200,000. Weil keiner hat eine Kar nur ein Jahr, jeder hat eine Kar 20 Jahre at least. I mean, jede 3 Jahre eine neue. So you're always going to take the upgraded version of the car because it's only $200 more. Big deal. Aber wenn du kommst Kassen machen, bist du mit den Zingen draußen. Na, you in the sick, hast du kein Geld. Nimm eine kleinere Kar, nimm $200, leih an, du weißt bis Setup. Of the set up medeilus, go for it. Knock yourself out. Go for the nicer car. I don't care. Go for a vacation, full business class. But this is set up. Your retirement is set up. You guys should often see him to come in, the final Sache, was ich will reden, is life insurance. So a topic was tip mir sehr dabei. Ich habe verloren 3 junge Brüder. Eine gewesen 21, eine 44 plötzlich gestorben, 2 von Cancer, 3 Schulpiten. Es ist sehr verweitig, der Neueste bei mir. Wir müssen machen life insurance. And term only. No whole life insurance. Only term. If you're a rich person, a very rich person, you can afford whole, make a whole policy. But if you're not, if you're a regular babatische mensch, like we said before, the 80% people in the middle cannot. Why not a whole and why term? On a term policy for an average for this age over here is approximately per $1 million, $100 a month. Approximately. The younger is 40, 50, the elder is 150. Ich weiß nicht exactly the age do. But figure the middle do is $100 a million, $100 a month per $1 million. Okay? An average person in this room, load is auch saying your age, darf have at least 3 million, and I would say up to $5 million of coverage. You have a mortgage, you have gasten nach kinderlich, man hat irgendwann alle Leben bis in den 20, the dream von was zu reden, derselbe wie der Millionär, derselbe dream. But inge Menschen starben, and man darf sein protected. A whole policy for $1 million is $1,000 a month, or $1,500 a month, which is $15,000 to $20,000 a year. Versus a term is $100 a month, which is $1,000 a year. So if you have a $3-4 million policy, and you have to spend $300 a chodesh of insurance, it's $16. Or you have to spend $3,000 or $5,000 a chodesh, kannst es nicht stehen. Then therefore you don't have enough coverage. You have a $700,000 to $50,000 policy. Het denken, man, zo'n kort van geld term policy vliegen, die die shul. Ja, wat heb ik gezien? Wat was het? Hij had de whole policy. Hoeveel geld? $250,000. Mensen is 40 jaar oud, dat $250,000 die policy. Weet je hier. Hij had de whole policy. Zat een cash value van $20,000. Cash value on a policy is goodish nicht. Don't put insurance together with investment. Don't put insurance together as insurance is insurance, investments is investments. Like I back in the S&P, like I back in the market, you will have your money. I'm sure helping you it was a pleasure for bringing with you. Anybody has questions, it's an open round table, ask.
This is for S&P or IRA?
It's irrelevant what the zach is. S&P, okay, let me explain you one thing, okay? What is an IRA and what is S&P? Okay. IRA is a kind of a savings account. The same way you go into the bank, there's a checking account, there's a savings account. You know, what's the difference between the two? There's a checking account and a savings account, right? In the bank. There is a brokerage account where you buy your brokerage accounts for your chasanas. It's one type of account. There's an IRA account where you buy to put away for your retirement. What do you buy in those accounts? You buy the S&P 500. You buy an index fund. You understand? So it's nicht other S&P, other IRA, nein. A brokerage account for chasana machen. An IRA is for retirement. The difference is, why shouldn't I do everything in an IRA? IRA has a limit of $7,000. IRA has benefits that there's 2 ways how you can use it as a deduction. Either from your income now. Let's say if a person has to pay $100,000 in taxes, in income. He has $100,000 of income that is taxable income. So he has to pay like $30,000 or whatever his tax bracket is. So he can take $7,000 out of his taxable income and buy IRA, put it into IRA, so his income is only $93,000, so his taxes is less. But the other way to do it is pay taxes now, but by the time you'll retire, all the profit is tax-free. So this girl, if she have bought a Roth IRA at age 20 that we spoke before, and she has $2 million in profit now, it's all tax-free. Totally tax-free. So let me do IRA tax-free for chasana machen, but you can't. The government wants you to put away money because they know that the social security system cannot support the people. It's not big enough to be able to retire on, so they want you to put away money for retirement, and they want it limited because then jeder hat alles seine ganze Vermögen anlegen und the government gaat verlieren seine taxes.
My question, you
Yeah.
said 40 years ago.
Again, so the 7,200.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't pay taxes now, you don't pay taxes.
No, the 72 you are paying now.
That's a Roth IRA.
No. That's a regular IRA, but all the profit, traditional IRA, but then all the profit, the $2 million, you have a capital gain that you're going to have to pay about 30% taxes. 15, so it depends. Long term, federal, state, depends where you live, which kind of, it's going to depend it's going to depend on the laws then.
But low income levels.
Was sagst du?
The NIMS also done income is low.
Whatever is going to be your tax bracket then. So a lot of people believe pay now your taxes unless you can't afford your taxes now, and let your money grow tax free.
So assuming the same tax bracket, if you traditional IRA and Roth IRA is basically the same in terms of the numbers when you take it out. It's just much easier. You don't have to pay that much.
That's not the same. What do you say so?
No, you invest the
If-
government's money.
Your money,
Instead of giving it to the government now, you invest that money. When you take it out,
then you pay taxes.
When you retire and you don't make any money, you pay much less taxes. So you make much
I
more
think
money.
your tax bracket is low. Like if you're in the same tax bracket, if you take $100,000 now, you're in the same tax bracket now and then.
Most people, when they retire, they're on a lower tax bracket.
Kelly, anything to add?
Actually, I'm not.
Was?